That Don't Sound Right is a podcast about talking the way we did before the internet, when you could not prove anyone right or wrong.
All the expertise was contained in the people involved with the conversation. I'm Peter.
I'm Cecil, and I hope you enjoy our conversations. And as you listen, if you find yourself silently saying, that don't sound right, send us a comment. You're one of us.
If I'm going somewhere, give me a side of gravy.
Yes. So usually I like to go on Tuesdays when they have country-style steak, gravy, mashed potatoes, green beans, roll, Texas Pete, and
welcome back to another episode of That Don't Sound Right, podcast about talking. We're your co-hosts. I'm Peter Bielman.
I'm Cecil Davis.
And we're just trying to have a conversation without Googling it or fact-checking each other online. Those things can easily kill the conversation. There's some other things that can kill things.
What's that?
Some meal suggestions.
Really?
Yeah, meal suggestions can kill an appetite. The things that people enjoy eating or suggest to eat, I would immediately say, that don't sound right. And you and I were talking just recently about some lunch suggestions, especially when you're on the road.
Yeah, and I'm really surprised because you drive a truck on occasion.
I do, and I drive long distances a lot.
You've driven across the country more than once,
or just long road trips with the family, or
and
by
I'm
myself.
Ask you, when you drive across the country for work, are y'all pulling a trailer or you just got the tractor?
No, it's a loaded trailer.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you load it with?
Cement blocks. Yeah, I can. Yeah, we load it with jersey barriers. It's strictly for ballast. It's either jersey barriers or big concrete blocks.
Just so you can see how it feels loaded down.
Right, because we have a different, a wide range of vehicles with different setups with engines and transmissions, and we're seeing which one's the best, and we're all taking turns driving them as we go.
Sorry for the digression there, but I've been meaning to ask Peter that for a while. So anyways, I was really surprised that this isn't more familiar to you.
No, yeah, well...
And so what we're talking about is the gas station lunch. So some people would say it was the construction workers' lunch, or if you were working in a tobacco field, this would be the working on a farm lunch. And so this is where you go into a gas station at lunchtime and just given what's on the shelf.
Right.
So to kick this off, this is if you go back to episode number 28. 310 to Greensboro, which, if you don't understand that title, that was a takeoff of a cowboy movie called 310 to Yuma. It takes place where they're trying to get to a train, and we were talking about trains.
That's right.
So,
but we were eating lunch at a gas station.
We were eating lunch at a gas station. And so this is one of our, I would say, favorite lunch spots.
That's right.
Usually if I meet you, we meet at this gas station.
It's our only lunch spot.
And it is. And it has a full grill.
Right.
And it has what we've talked about before in North Carolina and other states, the meat and two sides.
Right.
And so they have a hot bar. Usually they'll have a featured entree and then two sides and then your drink.
Usually something with gravy, which my kids all know that if I'm going somewhere, give me a side of gravy.
Yes. So usually I like to go on Tuesdays when they have country-style steak, gravy, mashed potatoes, green beans, roll, Texas Pete, and sweet tea.
Also my favorite time to go.
Yes. But not every gas station has a full grill like that.
Indeed.
So,
and I guess this is also when you're getting lunch, you might stop there in the morning on your way to the work site.
Right.
So you have something ready to eat because you can't get away from your work site.
Yes. So if you've ever stopped at a gas station early in the morning when guys are going out to a construction site, usually lots of construction workers there getting, you'll see, 2 or 3 drinks, and then
they're stocking
other
up.
accoutrement, which I'm getting ready to mention. And so for me, the classic gas station lunch is Vienna sausages. Are you familiar with Vienna sausages?
Yes, I've heard them. I've eaten them.
You've eaten them?
Yeah.
Do you like them?
No.
So Vienna sausages are little sausages that are in a can, and they usually have a thick layer of jelly on top of it that you have to scrape off. And then comes the really hard part. And the really hard part with Vienna sausage is getting the first one out.
Right, because they're packed in tight.
They're packed in tight. You usually don't have any utensils unless you have your pocket knife with you. and then you finally fish one out. And then
This
the
is
rest
the
of
same pocket knife you've been opening up bags of concrete with.
Yeah, bags of concrete. You've probably carved out the top of an oil can with it.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's right.
You've probably probably done some minor surgery with this pocket knife. Now it's lunchtime, and that knife now becomes part of your eating.
It's your
utensils.
fork.
Right.
And it's the only thing between you and getting that first Vienna sausage out.
Right, because they're packed in. And so what you need for my
The knife also helps scrape off the gelatinous goo.
Yes. Yeah. Unless you're at a place where you have like
Cecil, there are just so many other things to eat. Yeah. But anyway, go ahead.
So you're at a gas station. The classic one for me would be Vienna sausage, can of Vienna sausages, box of saltines, plain saltines, and Texas Pete, and then a soft drink.
All right.
This was back when I drank soft drinks. I don't drink soft drinks anymore. But,
which is, that's a whole episode. We'll have to get to later.
So that would be an entire lunch. Now, other people, I was talking to somebody about this last week. His favorite, of course, was saltines and cold pork and beans.
Ah,
So a can of pork and beans.
come on.
That you open. You have to have a spoon for that, though. Or you got to just dump it.
Yeah, you just dump it into your gullet.
Yep. Saltines and soft drink.
Okay.
Another one,
Yeah?
sardines.
Come on, man.
So
Who eats sardines anymore?
lots of people still eat sardines.
Still?
You can stop at the gas station, get a can of sardines,
But
saltines.
those sardines are covered with dust. They've been sitting on the shelf for a year and a half.
You're going to the wrong gas station, man. So you got two options there. Packed in oil, packed in water.
Oh, really? I didn't realize there's two.
Or
How do you make that choice?
I always go for oil.
Oh, really?
And you can get the hot sardines,
Okay.
which somebody has packed in hot sauce.
Okay.
Barbecue sardines.
Maybe that'll cut the flavor.
Yeah. Oh, you don't like sardines?
I don't think they have any flavor. No, I don't like sardines.
So saltines, sardines, hot sauce,
Oh.
and a drink. And then maybe a pack of nabs. Did y'all have nabs?
Yeah. The orange cracker with the peanut butter in between.
Right. So pack of nabs, finish it off. And that's the perfect lunch.
It is not the perfect
Self-contained lunch.
There is so much more to eat at gas stations these days.
And that way, now these days it is different. Like if you go to a Sheetz, well, they have a grill there, but
Right.
I was trying to think of a gas station that didn't have a grill.
Well, just think about Sheetz without a grill.
Yeah.
Or think about the place we go without a grill.
What would you get?
There's plenty of things. So my favorite thing to get for a road trip is I like to get a bag of beef jerky.
Okay. Now see that? Yeah. Okay.
All right, I like a bag of beef jerky.
Slim Jim or beef jerky?
No, not the Slim Jim.
Right.
Slim Jim is like a stick of heartburn.
Yeah.
No, beef. I prefer beef jerky.
Yeah.
And then I prefer that with a Pepsi, and if I can, Pepsi with sugar, not with the corn syrup.
Yeah.
With the sugar.
The real.
That's the real deal. It's really good.
I think that's perfect, but you can make a whole bunch off of that.
And then something that's really tasty to wash it all down is a bag of dehydrated pineapple.
Ah. Man,
Super sweet.
You're like
Super
a
sweet.
connoisseur inside these stories.
Well,
how often
I've done this a lot, man. And sardines is not on the list.
You've been to some pretty big truck stops, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've been to probably the biggest one in the world out in...
It's called Iowa 80. It's on Interstate 80 in guess what state? Iowa. It's in the middle of nowhere, but I think they have truck parking lot for at least several hundred, if not 500 trucks.
Rigs, wow.
There's a big... there have been a couple restaurants inside, probably 24 showers where you can take a shower, and then a big trucking museum. But yeah, I mean, we've stopped at plenty of gas stations. I mean, even the ones without the grill, you can get hot dogs.
Right.
You can get those what are they called? Taquitos. They're the tortilla wraps filled with spicy meat.
But not all that keeps, though. Like, if you're getting it first thing in the morning, you're going to keep it in a hot truck all day.
I'll keep.
I think you're going to want a can of Vienna sausages, some sardines. Some sardines and saltines.
Sure, that's been keeping.
Yeah,
that's been keeping for 18 months on that shelf.
That's what I'm saying, is this stuff will keep. You can throw this in any box that you have, in any vehicle you have, and at lunchtime, even if the car was hot, At least then your pork and beans are hot.
Now it's nice and warm. That's
it's
true.
nice and warm.
You can put it on your exhaust manifold in the engine.
Well, we talked about one episode. I think you confirmed this about the manifold meals.
Yeah.
And where people will cook meals on the manifold.
Put them in tin foil, let them run.
Yeah. Now you do that while the truck's sitting still, I'm assuming.
I guess. I mean, I've never done this, but if the truck is just sitting there idling, there's less chance for it to fall off.
I've seen people do enchiladas that way, where they will wrap them in foil like that and put them on a manifold.
Oh, yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
But tell me now,
right.
If you and I were getting the car.
Yeah.
So let's say we're leaving we're going to leave at 8 a.m. So we've already had breakfast. And we're going to be on the road for 6 hours, and we just got to get to where we're going. Like, we need to get to the swamp.
Uh-huh.
All right?
Yeah.
We're going to get to the swamp, and we're going to stop at a gas station just to get something to eat.
Right.
What would you buy for lunch?
But for lunch?
What would you buy?
All I've got is what's in a typical gas station.
Yeah.
For lunch, I'd have to go with Vienna sausages and hot sauce.
Why?
Out of everything that's in there?
Everything that's in there. Why Vienna sausages?
Because, like I go back to it, would keep... It travels.
You don't have to worry about them keeping because you're there. You're going to open it on the spot.
Oh, because we're going to eat right.
We're going to eat at lunch.
Does it have a grill?
Does not have a grill. No, you got to eat what's in the convenience store.
Yeah, I would go with Vienna sausages.
Vienna sausages
and saltines.
So these are really just a treat for you to eat.
They're not a treat at all. I'm not I would never eat them except in the situation where I had to buy lunch at a gas station.
Now, you were saying something about the ability to make your own sandwiches at some gas station.
See, this is where you get into really. You got to be a local for this. I think. I remember gas stations growing up, or small stores, which were not licensed for any food service at all.
In other words, they didn't have a grill or a place
or any type of license.
Yeah.
But they would keep a loaf of bread and some ham or ham. And some mayonnaise back in a refrigerator in the back of the store. And if you knew them, you could go back there and make your sandwich for $1 or $2.
That don't sound
And some
right.
cheese.
What?
They keep it some cheese. And so you
would go there and use their groceries to make a sandwich.
Yeah. And
that don't sound
if you
right.
knew them, you go back there and make your sandwich at lunchtime. And pay a couple bucks for it. And then that was your...
So there's like a line at the back of the gas station for people waiting to make their own sandwiches?
Yeah. But you got to know where those gas stations are, and you would also have to know the people that ran.
That I was going to say this has got to be a family
because
thing.
You can imagine if a health inspector came in, they don't know that you're serving serving food out there. Right.
On the other hand, I mean, as long as the meat in the mayonnaise is being chilled at its proper temperature, who cares?
Well, and you got to imagine you're going through this pretty quick.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not sitting there, but yeah, there's gas stations. There's one in Winston that I know of that you can.
Is there really?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh man.
It's out. It's just on the edge of town.
Have you done this before? Do you have to be able? Do you have
I've
to know
seen
people?
it done there, but I don't know the people there.
Do you think you could do it?
I think I could pull it off.
Huh.
I think I could pull it off.
We might have to hear a report back.
Yeah. So it's right on the edge of town. It's just barely in kind of Winston, and it's been there forever. It's a holdover as far as the gas station goes.
Speaking of sandwiches, I mean, in the refrigerated section these days, you can get sandwiches.
Yeah. Why
would you not get those?
I've never trusted those pre-packed. Have you ever had one of those sandwiches?
Yes, I have. They're fine.
Are they?
Yes.
I have bad memories about those sandwiches. I don't
Really?
know. I don't remember the memory. But there's something about it that I can't eat those.
They're a little sketchy to you, huh?
Yeah. Like I remember maybe a tuna sandwich like that. I just don't know if you want to eat that tuna.
No, yeah, I stay away from anything
What do you eat?
salad in it.
Do you eat like pimento cheese?
Oh no, well yeah, or the turkey sandwiches,
Yeah.
turkey and cheese, ham and cheese. I mean, you can't go wrong with those. I mean, that's got to be at least equivalent to going in the back of a dirty gas station to make your own sandwich.
Yeah. Would you eat a deviled egg? Or not deviled egg, but a
hard-boiled egg?
The pickled egg.
No.
That would be a good lunch. You had
Pickled
sardines and a pickled egg.
No. Can't agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
That sounds maybe one of the outer rings of hell.
I
mean, I'm already driving 12 hours. Now you're going to make me eat this garbage food? Come on, man.
What about pig's feet? They used to have pig's feet in the jar.
Can't say I've ever seen that at the gas station. Well,
pickled pig's feet.
Maybe I have one of those country gas stations.
You had pickles pig feet in the
I have
jars.
never had a pickles pig. Never had a pickled pig. Say that 3 times real quick.
Yeah.
Never had a pickles pig's foot.
I don't think I've ever eaten one either.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to go as far as saying I've seen them. I don't think I've ever eaten that
Well,
before.
I won't turn my nose up against it, but there are plenty of other things that I am familiar with in the gas station that I would eat ahead of most of the things you just named off.
Do you ever do the pickles, like out of the big jar, out of the pickle jar?
I'm not afraid of those.
Okay.
I'm not afraid of the boiled peanuts.
Oh, I found some for boiled peanuts. So I wonder if we give you a sponsorship with this. There's a canned peanut called Peanut Patch.
Uh-huh.
And I met a guy that actually, it's a long story. But anyways, they had a booth set up, and I didn't know that you could can boiled peanuts.
Okay.
And you can can them and then just dump them out and heat them up on the stove or heat them up in the can.
Yeah.
And they taste just like. In fact, this guy said that some of the roadside stands that have boiled peanuts
they're actually from a big they're
actually Peanut Patch
really
brand boiled peanuts.
That's a little disappointing, but I do love me some boiled peanuts.
I've got a can of peanut. I won one at this booth.
How long ago?
Just a few weeks ago.
Oh well.
Yeah, but I need to heat them up.
Sounds like a Memorial Day picnic.
That's right. All right, so in this same thing. So one of my brother's favorite things when we would fish as kids was lunch, because he would have one of these lunches. His was the Coca-Cola. He'd have Coca-Cola and a pack of nabs.
Yeah.
And he was looking forward to that. But you're okay with that.
Yeah, I'm not a big Nabs fan myself.
Right.
There's many other cracker selections to go for these days. So I just stay away from
Maybe I'm just a traditionalist.
And I might be a snob and I can live with that. But the orange crackers...
Right.
Feel like I can get something that's not so orange.
But the other thing that I think has happened is that the offerings in the gas station have really come a long way.
Maybe so.
There's a lot more available. So I went back to the place my dad and I used to go to. And I won't name the gas station, but they had shut it down for a long time. But this gas station...
Is that because they were making ham sandwiches in the back?
This was one of those places. This is one of those places.
Unauthorized sandwich construction?
They had a grill.
Yeah.
You could buy crickets.
Yeah.
Live crickets. You could buy worms. You could buy minnows.
All right.
They didn't have bathrooms, but they did have two porta-johns.
All right, that's fine.
So this was the gas station. But they shut it down for last year, and I went back in it just last week. They reopened it.
This is in Cary?
No, this is way out in the country.
Oh, okay.
Indoor bathrooms now.
All right.
The whole fishing gear section gone.
Oh, that's too bad.
No crickets, no minnows.
No worms.
No, they took out the old bar, the old grill. They have a new grill, but it's one of those kind of chain grills like you find in a lot of gas stations where they have like a few offerings that they make there.
They're mainly just heating up frozen stuff?
Yeah, mainly heating up frozen stuff.
Okay.
So, so they completely changed the character of this place. And so now, but they had a lot of things in there,
Right.
You get an assortment of coffees and
very good.
All that kind of stuff there.
I would love to hear some of our listeners' ideas for road trip food. What do y'all like to eat? If you're planning a road trip, what do you pack? Or you find yourself on the road and you're hungry around lunchtime or even dinner time, where do you stop? I've had this dilemma twice, just in the past month, that I got on the road super early. And the breakfast wasn't ready at the hotel I was staying at. The continental breakfast, the free breakfast that comes with the hotel. It's too early, that wasn't ready. So I'm on the road and I want something for breakfast. And I actually had a hard time figuring out what I wanted and what to get. So I'm just curious, what are some ideas for breakfast on the road? What do people like to pack? One of the things that we also used to do, if we were going like hiking, we would stop at a Subway in the morning, because Subways are usually open in the morning, buy a sub. Probably not put mayo on it, but buy a sub, and then just take that with us and eat that on the trail.
Just did this with my friend. We went up to Short Off. Yeah. And we stopped at a Subway on the way up.
There you go.
Hiked them up the trail. Ate them on the top of Short Off.
It's pretty good, especially when you get the vinaigrette on there. Yeah. Salt and pepper. That's all you need.
Vinaigrette doesn't make you soggy by the time you get where you're going?
It does, but there's something like pure about that.
Yeah,
it's I'm outside hiking with a sandwich.
The breakfast thing can be tough because, and we'll let our listeners weigh in on this, because you either have really bad stuff, which you think, this stuff's bad, but just like honey buns, all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Donuts.
Powdered donuts.
Powdered
which
donuts.
actually are often at these hotels.
Yeah. but it's hard to find like a biscuit place
Right.
sometimes, or you're getting the reheated biscuit at a gas station. Yeah, breakfast can be a little tough.
Or you have to sit down to a restaurant and wait
Yeah.
for them, do a short order for you.
Yeah.
Which takes, if you're on a road trip and you got to get going,
Right.
that's usually why you left so early, so you can get
Yeah.
going. You really don't want to spend 45 minutes for breakfast.
So I usually default to bars at that point,
Tell me more about bars.
like a granola bar.
Oh,
Like for me,
because the bars are usually closed that early in the morning.
Yeah, no, like a granola bar, because I can eat it while I'm driving.
Yeah.
And it fills me up.
Yeah.
And it keeps me going. And see, that's the other thing. It's like now if you go for a gas station lunch, you could really opt. I mean, most gas stations have Cliff bars,
Right.
granola bars. I mean, you could
could.
do something fairly healthy. You could even, they sell apples and bananas now in gas
That's
stations,
true.
which is unusual to me, but
That's right.
yeah. So, well, it don't sound right, but I think we have come to the conclusion of this episode.
Hey, before we close, we want to thank everyone for listening. Just as a heads up, we understand that many of you will be traveling next week for Memorial Day weekend. We will still have a brand new episode. It'll be our mailbag episode. But feel free to tune in next weekend as you're driving back from the beach or back from the mountains or back from family. Or play us as your favorite podcast during that Memorial Day cookout.
That's right. But remember, as you're traveling, tell us what you're eating.
Yes. You might not have even thought about what you're eating. But
You will now.
Now you will. Let us know. Hey, if this is your first time listening to the show, thank you for joining us. If you enjoyed the conversation, would you consider hitting the subscribe button? It's the little check mark on Apple Podcasts. Also, consider giving us a rating or leaving us a review.
That Don't Sound Right is a production of TDSR Podcast in conjunction with Camel City Studios. I am your co-host and sound engineer, Cecil. Peter is our other host, and he is also your web designer. Emily is our graphic designer. Giorgio is our merchandise tester. Brent is our brand ambassador, and as always, listener number one is
Scott.
So, until next Saturday night, keep talking.
And stay curious.